Monaco, by definition, a romantic place. And there are so many nooks and crannies that you can find your way into all by yourself. And there are so many choices for accommodations. And there are so many wonderful views, and not only all the seascapes, but the landscapes, the architecture. We're going to head off immediately to check in at the Hotel Columbus. It's in the old town, the old port of Monte Carlo in Monaco, and it's very relaxed, and you really will feel like you're coming home. I love the fact that you will interface with bamboo usually in the lobby area, certainly in your accommodation, where you'll find the sheets that they use, the linens, the towels, the mattresses. Everything is aimed at comfort. Look in the bathroom. Time to wash our hands. I'm holding a soap dish. Ah, romance in the air and in the soap. Let's go have lunch now that our hands are clean. Oh, and you're in the Mediterranean, you're in Monaco, seafood people. So have a look at that. Calamari and shrimp and a beet salad. Yummy. Scallops. And wash it all down with a glass of wine. Not only from France or Italy, which are bordering Monaco, but from anywhere in the world. Make sure you thank the chef. And before you find your way out of the hotel to go sightseeing, you're probably going to come across a wonderful dog who's allowing his owner to travel with him. This is Marty, an 8-month-old golden retriever I had such fun with. But as you exit the hotel, cross the street, and you will find the Princess Grace Rose Garden. This sign in French says, "This rose garden was created by the initiative of Prince Rainier III in memory of Princess Grace." And that would be Princess Grace Kelly, the actress from Philadelphia, who met Prince Rainier when she was filming To Catch a Thief with Cary Grant. You want to make sure you see that film. Aren't the roses beautiful? And there's a statue of Princess Grace. I love this rose, French vanilla, that blends into lavender, that blends on the edges into a raspberry color. And in these two signages that you'll find at the garden, let's get the close-up. That's Princess Grace in the first row. She was not only a beautiful woman, she was a beautiful woman, inside as well as out. So, now that we're in the mood for gardens, let's take a walk. And you'll find Monaco is just overflowing with beautiful vistas, and everywhere you go, there is beautiful landscaping. And that's why you'll find this sign, "Interdit aux chiens," dogs prohibited. And you'll find incredible statuary everywhere, sculptures everywhere. I love this one of the man emerging from the stone. Isn't that wild? And if you need a little exercise, now there's a place to play some basketball, no? The only 100% American sport, by the way. Every other sport has a derivative in some other sport from somewhere else in the world. But basketball, all hours. So if you find yourself some height, some building, window or balcony, you're looking down into the old port, and that's an ice skating rink they set up in the winter. But it's real warm out. You know, they don't get the temperatures we get. All right, so here's the yacht basin, and there's some yachts, and then there is the mother of yachts. Look at that. That's the problem with yachts. No matter how wonderful your boat is, there's someone with one that makes yours look like a cork bobbing in the water. But let's go over to the Hotel de Paris, We have friends arriving who we are hosting during this trip because regrettably circumstances prevented them from attending a family event we had in Ireland. So I invited them to meet us in Monte Carlo, and we hosted them at this hotel. There I am in the lobby, and there are the stairs that you love to take pictures on. There's our friends, Stephen and Mina, and my husband, on the balcony overlooking the Mediterranean. That's their accommodations. I'm going to wait for them to come down. There they are. So now let's go out and do some sightseeing. Well, it's starting to get dark, and this is what it looks like in Monte Carlo. And up on the hillside in the background, you're looking up at the old city of Monaco. And now my homage to marvelous grand chef Marcel Atmond, who was asked by Prince Rainier to create a restaurant in this certain spot on the cliffside with the most magnificent view from Monaco's cliffside, from the town of Monaco, looking down onto the harbor and Monte Carlo. And so look at the food that they used to prepare that. But this is, again, my homage because le restaurant de Saint-Benoît is now closed when Marcel retired. So now that we've had some dinner, let's go to the Christmas market. Ah, Barba Papa. You know what that is, Barba Papa? Yes. It's cotton candy. Ferris wheels. Bears to dance with. I love dancing with the bears. And the Barba Papa is in motion. And I've managed to find myself 5 Santa's helpers, one with an accordion. And you can see the people ice skating even at night. Now, take a look at these Christmas decorations. They look like Christmas trees, or they're like ice cream cones upside down. That's by day. This is what they look like by night. And they are all over Monaco. Every year they pick a theme, and everybody does the same thing. You know, outside of their stores, their homes, whatever, lining the streets. And this is down in the harbor. Look at those giant-sized yachts. You see the Christmas tree shape out of lights in the middle? That's on that yacht. Ah, yes. You have to admire people who know how to live. And now in the Christmas market, you can find fondue and foie gras. You see I'm pointing at the sign? And champagne and caviar. Well, you know, it's not bratwurst or hot dogs that you might find in Germany or the US. No, champagne, foie gras, Christmas lights everywhere, and that's the casino lighted at night. Isn't that gorgeous? And there I am with my friend Mina in front of the Christmas decorations that you'll get to see by daylight soon. But now it's daylight, and let's have a look at some of the gorgeous architecture. And we're in the area where there are a slew of museums of various kinds that were founded by Prince Rainier. Look at the architecture. Isn't that stunning? No, that's not a plaque for your wall. That's the front of a building. A little dark in this corner, but you need an apron, maybe inspired to cook. And this is in Monaco at the top of, sitting on that cliff. It's like a mountainside. Great shopping. You know, I've actually bought an ice cream cone that looks very similar to that for my patio. You gotta love that. Mine isn't quite that tall. We stopped in this place for pizza for lunch. It was fabulous. Isn't the architecture amazing? Lots of great shopping. I'm holding 2 sacks of presents that I bought for the children of people I love. And now we're at where the palace is. And there is the guard, one of the guards, centuries at the palace. Statuary, one of the local dogs, misbehaving with a statue. I won't take long, watch this. Hello, hey dog, not here. And this dog is watching it all and commiserating. A dog can't catch a break. Look at the architecture. Now you see the oranges on the tree? You're not going to want to pick it and eat it. In France, in Monaco, in Spain, you really have to put sugar on them. They're almost like lemons or kumquats. They're so sour. They're not Florida or California oranges you just take off the tree and eat. But you look how many people arrive by boat or live in Monte Carlo and have a boat. There's another restaurant you might want to stop into. Nice way to start a romantic evening. Quai des Artistes, Fruits de Mer, seafood. Look at the ceiling. Is that not stunning? Bread coming out of the oven. That looks yum. And that's an individual pot of soup. So if you ordered soup, that's what would be delivered to you. Fish and chips, people. And this is dessert. I think that was an apple something. It smelled so good from apples and cinnamon. And this was chocolate souffle. And you needed to order it when you sat down for dinner. People at the next table knew how to eat. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? All seafood. And now out to play in the Christmas market before the sun rises. Although the sun may rise with people still in the casino, which is worth going in. And there is a fee, an entry fee to go into the casino, whether you gamble or not, and they're going to take your passport. And when you leave, they'll give your passport back. And I think that has to do with maybe you run up a bill. You're not getting your passport back until you pay what you owe. Look at there's a big park in between the town shopping in Monte Carlo and the casino. This big grassy park. And every year they do different decorations for Christmas. Is that not stunning? Look at that. And so in the amusement area of the Christmas market in the harbor, they have something similar. And there's a fellow in there. You see him? You look carefully, you can see hands and legs. Fascinated by the port and the boats. When you see the film To Catch a Thief with Grace Kelly and Cary Grant, you're going to see this shot in the film when they go out on the boat and they're looking back at the land. So now we're back up in the old city. Walking around the streets, shopping, and tons of museums. I particularly love the Automobile Museum. And this Automobile Museum, this particular Ferrari, whatever that is, race car? I don't know. Looks like a plow to me. It looks like a big oil can, but it's got my lucky number, 27, on it. Aren't these gorgeous? I love that Wedgwood blue car. And when we left there, our friend Steven decided he would get up close and cozy with what I think it's either a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. I'll have to check more carefully. Yeah, the cars today do not have the panache of those antique cars. Everywhere you go, sculpture, gorgeous buildings, and me. Flowers everywhere. Look at this flower. I don't know what it's called. Is that not spectacular? It looks like somebody created it out of clay or carved it out of wood and painted it. Looks like a star or a crown. I was so fascinated by that flower. That in the harbor. There are Thai. Gorgeous building, no? Look at that building. It looks like it could be the topping on a cake. This is inside the cathedral, at the top of in the old city of Monaco, on top of the mountain, where it's not far. It's in close proximity to the palace, and of course that says peace. An old book with Gregorian chants in it. I mean, really old book, probably 1,000 years old, hand done by the monks. And that is in the stone floor of the cathedral. That's the interment site, the grave of Grace Kelly. And there are surveillance cameras pointed down, make sure nobody does anything foolish, and people come and decorate with flowers and loving trinkets every day. At the time when we took this picture, Grace Kelly had passed, but Prince Rainier, her husband, had not, so he would be there now too. And I'm just busy holding up a wall, make sure it doesn't fall down. Let's go back to that antique car museum. It's worth a revisit. Look at this vintage coach. I actually participated in a coaching event, and they are very comfortable when you're on trails and grass, not so much when you're on an asphalt road, but they're really wonderful. I'm gonna get in, doors open. Here are some race cars. A 1911 Renault. Some of these say something like a gift from this one or that one to the prince. I don't know that it's true, but I have an underlying suspicion that these gifts were made when they lost in the casino, and that's how they paid their debt, by giving the prince one of their antique cars. This is a Peugeot 1921. Twin Citroëns, his and hers. I love the color of this Chrysler. This is a 1931 Chrysler Plymouth. And they've restored it to this color. I don't know what the original color was, probably black. But you see how it would match my coat? I'd look so good in it. Or in this one. This works too. And that's a Packard. 1926 Packard. Ford. 1930. Vintage cars. Look at that Bentley. You could drive that in a very classy way today. Isn't that gorgeous? Continental S, 1956. Stunning. And I managed to find a Rolls Royce just parked outside of the hotel. So there I am. Getting up close and personal. Yeah, it's a Cadillac. My grandfather had a Chrysler LeBaron that had chrome bumpers that look like that. That truly could kill somebody. Those things are heavy like a Sherman tank. I love those white walls. Look at those sexy white walls. That's romance, people. And you can go into a local shop and for a few $100s buy some ceramic artistic rendering. Isn't that cute? I figured if we tried to get it home, it would come home in pieces, so it stayed there. Off to the Prince's Zoo. Look at that. That's Baby Roo. Where's Kanga, your mommy? And this hippopotamus is not a bronze casting. That's a real hippopotamus. And as we approached, all I smelled was applesauce. And when he got there, I understood why. That hippopotamus's mouth is stuffed with about a dozen apples. And when it opened its big mouth, you could see the apples getting crunched, and he had the most beautiful applesauce breath. Well, we end in paradise, people. Monaco, truly a place you'd call paradise on the Mediterranean.
Where did the hour go? Come back next week. Gotta fly now.